In a time when trust in leaders has been tested, when power often seems distant from the people it is meant to serve, there stands one figure who continues to inspire hope, a man dressed in white, walking humbly among the crowds, Pope Francis. Today, we look deeply into the moments, not just the headlines but the real, moving human moments, that show why Pope Francis has earned the title of the People's Pope. This is not a story about a man sitting on a throne, it's a story about a leader who stepped down from it to walk with us. Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, Argentina, he grew up among working-class people familiar with hardship, struggle, and simplicity. Before he ever wore the robes of a pope, he rode the bus to work. He cooked his own meals. He lived among the people and never forgot their faces, their voices, their needs. When he was elected pope in 2013, the world expected another traditional leader. Instead, from the very first moment, Francis set a different tone. When asked if he accepted the election, he simply replied, "I am a sinner, but I trust in the mercy of God." And with that humble beginning, a new chapter for the papacy began. Most popes before him had chosen grand names like Pius, Leo, or Benedict. He chose Francis, after Saint Francis of Assisi, the saint of poverty, peace, and care for creation. A symbol of humility, simplicity, and deep compassion. When presented with the grand papal vestments, heavy with gold embroidery, he quietly asked to wear the simpler white cassock instead. He chose to appear before the people without a golden crown, without fanfare, just himself, a man with a mission to serve. He rejected the armored popemobile in favor of an open vehicle even when security experts warned him of risks. He wanted no barriers between himself and the people. Francis showed early on that leadership is not about making yourself untouchable, it's about making yourself reachable. Pope Francis made another surprising choice early in his papacy. He decided not to move into the Apostolic Palace, the grand official residence of popes for centuries. Instead, he chose to live in a modest guest house called Casa Santa Marta. There, he eats meals in a communal dining room, shares elevators, and interacts daily with people from all walks of life. This wasn't just about modesty, it was about solidarity. It was about remembering every day who he was serving. He once said, "I need to live among people. Without human closeness, I cannot live." One of the most iconic images of Pope Francis came in November 2013. A man suffering from neurofibromatosis, a painful condition that causes severe disfigurement, approached him during a public audience. Most would have recoiled, most would have turned away, but not Francis. He embraced the man without hesitation, held him tightly, blessed him. There were no words, just presence, a silent message to the world. No one is too broken to be loved. Every Holy Thursday, Catholic tradition holds a special foot washing ceremony. Typically, popes washed the feet of priests in ornate cathedrals, but Francis broke that tradition. He went to prisons. He washed the feet of young offenders, including Muslims, women, and non-Christians. He kissed their feet, an act of radical humility. He showed the world that the message of service was not reserved for the perfect, the pure, or the privileged. It was for everyone, especially for those most forgotten. Pope Francis continues to live simply. His shoes are regular black orthopedic shoes. His eyeglasses are ordinary. He carries his own briefcase. Inside, a razor, a breviary, and a few other humble essentials. He rides in small economy cars during his visits abroad, often shocking local officials expecting a grand motorcade. His message is constant. We must be servants, not princes. Again and again, Francis reminds the world that the church must be a church for the poor. He has criticized what he calls an economy that kills, an economic system where the few grow richer while millions suffer. He established showers for the homeless right next to St. Peter's Basilica. He opened clinics and dormitories in Vatican City for the unhoused. He constantly calls on governments to prioritize human dignity over profits. Francis doesn't just pray for the poor. He walks among them. He listens to them. He elevates their voices to the highest platforms in the world. Pope Francis has made historic gestures to heal religious and political divides. He met with the Patriarch of Moscow, mending a 1,000-year rift between Catholic and Orthodox Christians. He visited refugees on the Greek island of Lesbos, bringing some back with him to Rome. He even reached out to Muslim and Jewish leaders, promoting peace, respect, and cooperation. In an era of division, Francis offers another way, a way of bridges, not walls. Pope Francis recognizes that caring for the planet is inseparable from caring for people. In his groundbreaking letter, Laudato Si', he calls the world to an integral ecology, one where human beings and the earth are seen as deeply connected. He speaks of the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor as one and the same. He urges world leaders to act before it's too late, warning that indifference to climate change is a betrayal of future generations. By tying environmental action to faith and morality, Francis brings new energy to a global cause. Despite the heavy burdens he carries, Francis never loses his smile. He loves to joke, even about himself. He often tells people, "Don't look at me like I'm a saint. I can be a little devil too sometimes." He blesses therapy animals, surprises newlyweds with spontaneous phone calls, and shares laughs with children who run up to him uninvited. He shows that holiness is not grim seriousness, it's joy, it's laughter, it's humanity at its best. Francis has opened new conversations within the Church. He initiated the Synod on Synodality, a massive global listening project where every Catholic, clergy, and laity alike is invited to share hopes, dreams, and concerns. He insists that leadership in the Church must not be top-down but a shared journey. In a world where many leaders speak over the people, Francis listens. Pope Francis belongs to no single group. He is for the young and the old, the believers and the seekers, the rich and the poor, the healthy and the suffering. His actions speak of a universal love, a love that reflects the best of humanity. Whether blessing abandoned children, advocating for migrants, embracing the disabled, or quietly listening to a struggling mother, he embodies the idea that greatness is found in service. Pope Francis may not have written volumes of doctrine, he may not have built grand cathedrals, but his true legacy is written on hearts around the world. He has reminded us that faith is not about towering above others, it is about bending down in love, it is about recognizing the divine in every face, the sick, the poor, the stranger, the prisoner, the child. The People's Pope continues to walk humbly among us, pointing to a higher way of living, a life built not on pride, but on compassion, not on riches, but on mercy, not on fear, but on hope. And maybe, just maybe, he reminds us of what we could be, if only we dared to love as fearlessly as he does. This is Pope Francis. This is the People's Pope. Rest in peace, Pope Francis.